The following podcast has been brought to you by Audible.com. Sign up now using the URL audibletrial.com/TTV to get a free audiobook of your choosing. We recommend Brick by Brick, How Lego Rewrote the Rules of Innovation and Conquered the Global Toy Industry. You may recognize this as one of the sources we use in our show, Bionicle Autopsy. Remember, that's audibletrial.com/TTV. Enjoy the show. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, sync. Hey everybody, I'm Bar.
I'm Meso.
I'm Kahi.
I'm Venom.
And this is TTV Talks.
Yeah. Okay, real
Why
talk.
are we doing that?
I'm very curious because it's something we've just kind of adapted. When did like the John Cena theme become like something we did every week?
I don't know. I think.
Wait, is that something we did every week?
I don't know if we do it.
Most of the time, it's done. If not every week, at least like every other week. And it's just really peculiar to me.
I did not know that. I literally just did that because I felt like doing that. It just seemed appropriate.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
why
I didn't know anyone else did it.
too.
It's funny because like
Wait, did
John Cena is one of those things that like I know I saw.
Hey, wait.
What?
Kahi, I gotta inform you real quick that we just got another email for a copyright claim. Anyway, continue.
No.
John Cena heard us. He's listening.
John Cena is a weird thing because like it's definitely one of those things that we all heard before it went viral. Like we all saw that like YouTube
Yeah,
clip.
so true.
We saw it like a year or two.
We saw that video, that John Cena prank video, years before that became a viral thing.
And then like suddenly it's like John Cena wasn't. I don't know
Yeah,
when
was
that thing
trippy,
happened,
dude.
where everybody like suddenly came upon this at once and it became viral. It probably went to like Reddit or MJ or something, I guess.
It is weird. It's weird to think about like how did that happen?
All the other stuff I've seen go viral, like it comes out and then it goes viral after a couple days. This one was like sitting around for a year or two.
Yeah.
Showing it to all my friends.
But
anyhow.
Internet memes work in strange ways.
You know what's an internet meme that was like, I thought was going to be like really, really big and turned out not to work? It was that like Ben Affleck was going to be a terrible Batman. I remember that whole thing where like was going around.
If you want to be technical, Ben Affleck like as a person may not be a meme, but we do have sad Affleck.
I guess we do have sad Affleck, which is the funniest
sad
thing.
Affleck is now a meme.
That's my new favorite thing. Is sad Affleck.
Hello, Dark.
Dude, I feel so sorry for that guy, man. It's so funny because like when he was originally casted as Batman, he got so much crap for it. Like he
really did.
No one had even seen like an audition test or him even in the costume. It's just the
name
pure...
Ben Affleck like drove people crazy. They're like, "What? Him? As Batman? The world's ending." And
I guess you could say he got a lot of flack. Ben Affleck.
You are not funny. You might be fired after this episode.
I've never wanted to murder somebody as much as I want to do right now.
I guarantee you, Purple is just chuckling right now.
I feel like
freaking comment.
I feel like I identify a Batman now. I now understand why he wants to kill Superman. Superman's like, Bat Flack, and he was like, this person, we can't allow this. That's how it turns.
It's comments like that.
Turns good men.
Turn good men.
Cruel.
Yeah.
Cruel.
That's how it starts. The puns, the jokes.
Then the rage.
Man.
It turns good podcast. Terrible.
Can we talk about that movie?
That is the only quote. That quote is the only good thing that came out of that movie, I swear.
That's not true.
That's not true.
Oh boy. Okay, so I like that. We've already opened it up. Okay, I guess we're gonna talk about Batman v Superman now.
Spoilers.
That's a thing.
Huge spoiler alerts. We're going to go over everything.
There's not
in this
even that
movie.
many spoilers.
There's one big spoiler.
We'll go over two. We'll go over two spoilers right now, just to get them out of the way.
There are a few things that you don't know going into the movie that are dumb, in my opinion, but they are
dumb.
Spoilers. But generally speaking, you know exactly what you're getting into with this movie when you watch that like second trailer.
Right.
And you know exactly what plot points you're going to get into because that trailer basically spoiled the whole movie except for key points.
One thing that you kind of already guessed was going to happen, but is kind of like really stupid that it did happen.
You guessed it if you were comic savvy.
Yeah, if you know Superman Yeah. All right. So real quick, before we get into spoilers, I want to say, can you guys give like a rating for the movie for people who still haven't seen the movie and they want to know what we think about it before going to see it?
Or like just an approval? Do you see it or not, or like an arbitrary number rating?
Do you want to do? We can do both.
Let's give both. Let's give both.
Okay. I think the movie deserves. I would personally give it 7.5 out of 10.
Really?
I would say not a great movie, not by a long shot. I would say it is worth seeing just for the experience of it, because it's topical and it did have some fun moments.
Yeah.
Whether you see it in theaters or not, that's a personal thing.
I don't know about fun
Yeah,
moments.
so I would give it a 7 out of 10. I don't think it's a bad movie, and there are definitely things to enjoy with it. If you're hyped for it, you will probably enjoy it. If you've always wanted to see Superman and Batman fight, you'll probably enjoy it. With that said, I do not think this movie is worth the theater experience. I would honestly skip the movie now. Save your money. Don't bother driving out to a theater and dealing with the crowd and the hassle and getting your tickets and waiting in line, that kind of thing. Don't bother with it. It's not worth seeing this movie for that experience. There are better movies to use your theater time with. It's not worth being in a crowded space, in a dark crowded space for like 2 hours to see this movie. So wait until it's on Netflix or something, then watch it. It's worth seeing. Not worth going out to see.
Ben, what about you?
But yeah.
You guys are so generous.
I know.
Yeah.
I was thinking the exact same thing.
I give this movie a 5 out of 10. And
Flat ash.
it's not bad. It's got its okay moments, but there are a lot more things that I dislike about this movie than I do like. And the things I do like, I don't even like all that much. Like, I'll say this. The main thing that I did like about the movie kind of had its moments of you giveth and then you taketh away. I'm mostly talking about and so
the whole Batman character is a good description of that.
That's exactly what I'm talking about, actually. So yeah, there was something else I wanted to say, but you go ahead, Kai, until it comes back to me.
I'm gonna go for a solid 6, maybe 5.5. I go back and forth about this a bit. This is I think right now I'm the person that reads the most comics out of everybody in TTV.
Definitely.
I read a bunch of comics. I followed everything all the way. I'm a huge Superman fan. I'm a huge Batman fan. If you like seeing two people in Superman and Batman costumes fighting, then sure, go see this movie.
Savage.
But
jeez,
if you are a Superman or Batman fan, these are not the characters that you enjoyed in the comics. The idealized form of Batman, the idealized form of Superman, they're not here. So it's just to see people in the costumes on screen. And if that really gets you excited, if you want to see those costumes, then sure, maybe this movie is for you.
Yeah, and you like that CGI action. And
right.
You like to see.
And
that's a great way of putting it.
See, not even like.
Right. Not identify or
else, really.
enjoy.
Yeah, exactly. Not identify. You just want to see Superman and Wonder Woman and Batman kicking butt.
It's like one of those fan videos on YouTube or something, where someone just downloaded models.
Not even. I feel like the fan stuff. I feel like the fan stuff would actually be more true to the characters than what's in this movie. I would say that this.
Well, what I mean is just like people. Have you ever seen those like CGI channels where people like have models or whatever? They just have random characters fight each other.
Okay,
that's what I mean.
Yeah, that's basically
that is basically what it is. And it's Zack Snyder's anthology film based around maybe some cool concepts.
Anthology.
All right, anthology film based around.
Anyway.
Listen, the thing about this is, it's not so much it's not so much you're like, oh well, you take the next 5 minutes is laughing about it, and I can't finish my sentence.
Real quick, please allow me to interject. Don't let this talk of all the action and stuff fool you, because there really isn't even all that much action throughout the movie. Like,
no, okay, listen.
If you saw that last trailer where there's there's nothing but explosions and action throughout the trailer, that's not what this movie is. This movie, there's no action until like maybe the last hour, not even less than an hour.
Last hour, not even last 30 minutes. And the funny part is that like all the action scenes that are in the trailer are actually cut better in the
They
trailer
really
than they
are.
are in the movie itself.
There's so much. The thing is that I'm not going to deny it. As a film guy, I like some of Zack Snyder's shots. I like some of his angles. I like some of the way he shoots some things. I'm like, that looks really grandiose.
He's a good cinematographer.
He's a good cinematographer.
Yeah.
He's a great cinematographer.
Not a good director. The plot
director.
is all over the place. There's a lot of stuff that are just cool moments, and he strings them all together like in one movie, like they're supposed to all make sense, and they don't. So if you're looking for, basically Zack Snyder tried to like say, what are cool moments from Superman's history? I'm just going to cram all of them into one movie.
Yeah.
Or this whole movie just
put,
really
the
felt
comic
like
panel on scene.
this whole movie just felt like Zack Snyder was saying, "Oh, you know what? This will look pretty cool. Throw that in there."
Yeah, he's like, oh, you know what? That looks cool.
Yeah, like
He's
really good at making a really pretty picture and a pretty movie, but he just it's like art without a
Yeah.
message. He's just painting pretty things that don't mean anything.
It's okay.
Yeah.
There's no substance at all to anything in this movie. It's just a bunch
what is
of
it with this movie
pretty
being
pictures
so
and explosions.
gray? Like,
That was a
okay,
problem with
that
Man of Steel.
frustrated me.
It's been a long
Okay,
time.
all right, hold on. Let's get into spoilers. We'll get into the thing. We'll probably wrap this up. I want to do like the thing I said after the movie. This movie is like if there's World War III happened next year, and World War III happened, and all the nukes were set off, and they bombed everything. Like everything was completely demolished, and then like 300 years later, civilization was built back up again, and then Zack Snyder comes along 300 years later, and he looks on the ancient texts on like ancient American mythology, and he's like, oh, some of this looks cool, and he does an art film about it. That's what this feels like. It doesn't feel like Superman, Batman. It feels like someone's doing something on the Greek gods coming to Earth, and they've reinterpreted the mythology, and they've reinterpreted the characters,
so
and they've
basically, it's like
it feels so far
it's like
removed.
a casual fan tried to make a movie out of him.
Right.
It's like the guy that made the Gods of Egypt movie that just came out this year. How
Right, exactly.
he learned about what the gods of Egypt were in like history class or something, and decided to make a movie based off like the synopsis of those characters.
I think that's very accurate.
That is what.
I feel like he read the cliff notes of
The cliff notes. That is what this
Superman.
movie feels like.
He got all of his
thousands of
information
years
off of
later.
Spark Notes.
Yeah, thousands of years later, some guy decided to make a movie based off the legend of Batman and Superman, and that's what this movie is.
Exactly. That's that. Yeah.
It's not actually Batman or Superman. It's
No.
a vision of what that concept is, I guess, realized. But it's not. It's just
bland,
not
dry
a good adaptation.
white bread versus Batman the murderer. That's what it is.
Oh yeah, let me just. Now I finally remember what I wanted to say about this movie. It's really not for everybody.
No.
It's really not.
The
No.
audience-
I think one of the reasons why I was able to walk away from it and enjoy it is because I don't read comics. My knowledge of these characters is limited solely to the movies.
See,
So
people
I
will
have
say
a
like
limited frame of reference for what should be done.
people will say like fans like this movie. As a comic fan, as a DC fan, and a Superman and Batman fan, I hated this movie more than ever
I did
because
too.
I'm a fan.
I did too.
I think the casuals
And the people that I knew, some of the people that I knew, some of the people I knew were like, it's okay, but some of the stuff was weird. And some of the people who I knew that liked Superman and Batman were like, all right, it's okay. But the comic fans that I knew were like, this is what is this?
Yeah,
This
I
is
imagine
pretty terrible.
I imagine casual comic fans that may have read like one or two stories, like Death of the Family or something, or maybe like The Killing Joke, and then maybe played like the Arkham games and maybe saw the other movies. That kind of they know the
I would
Batman
say-
character and they like him sort of, but they haven't read like every comic and they're not invested in the comics or anything. They might enjoy the movie
That's
more
me.
than someone that reads
These
comics
would
a
be
lot.
the type of people
Yeah,
that...
so someone like Meso.
Yeah, the type of
Yo.
people that just like the thing, like they say they like Superman, you ask them why, and they say, oh, because he's cool. That's it, and that's why.
Right, exactly. Or no, the people are like, oh, I like Batman because he's Batman.
See,
I've seen how he
I
could
can
have
give you
ended.
more credit. I feel like a lot of people that maybe are a bit more involved than just, oh, I think he's cool. They can probably give a good reason why they like Batman or something. They might still find
That's
things
true.
to enjoy in this
Yeah,
movie.
a lot of people. I would say a lot more people have played his video
there's
games.
people out there arguing, oh, who would win in a fight, Superman or Batman? And then people will be like, oh, Batman doesn't do anything. He just has gadgets. He's so lame. Superman,
Right.
No, okay, that
Superman
was
can
like,
fly.
I mean,
and
listen,
he's
Sure,
strong.
those people will probably like the movie, but like, I just think that there are still
Red-
people that read comic books that might enjoy the movie as well. It's just, if you're a dedicated
Okay, fair
fan
enough,
that is really invested in the character from the comics that you've known and grown up with, you will
Disappointed
probably
with
not
their
like this movie.
portrayal in the film.
Yeah, you will be disappointed with the portrayal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It feels.
A lot of people try to apologize
This
for
movie feels like Aragon. Has anyone ever seen that Aragon movie?
Man, don't worry.
That really crappy Aragon
Yeah.
movie. That was like, it was sort of what the book was. Like the premise.
It was just,
sort of
it was
there,
so
but
watered.
literally everything was
It
terrible.
was watered down.
That's what this
like
movie's
crazy. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, let's get into spoilers. Can we do spoilers?
Sure, go.
That's our rating. Me 6, Var 7,
7.
7, and then Meso. What would you say?
7.5.
7.5, and Ven, you're a 5, and I might go 5.5 as well.
I think
that's
it's,
it. Decide from here. See if you're gonna watch a movie or not.
I do kind of want to address like the actual like criticisms it's been getting in its current rating on like Rotten Tomatoes and stuff.
No,
If we
that's
have
true.
time for
Yeah,
it.
yeah, okay.
If we have time
No,
for
why
it, like we can go ahead and talk about.
I'm
the
sure
movie
this will be a longer one. To be fair.
I think this might be. I'm
Okay.
hoping my
Let's go,
audio
let's
is
go.
like going up and down. So
What you gotta
let's
say?
do this.
Yeah, okay, well,
let's
and-
go right into it.
Yeah, in that case, do we want to go ahead and talk about the movie itself? Or
Do it.
Wait
Sure.
until
Do
later.
it.
What do you want to talk about first? Rotten Tomatoes and the movie.
Well, let's talk about Rotten Tomatoes. Let's talk about
Okay, yeah, because I
reception
feel like
a bit.
that does kind of fit with what we're saying at the moment. Because for me, while I did not like the movie. Like I can just say that. Like I went to the theater.
Right.
It actually kind of angered me when I left. I was actually feeling a little angry. I wanted to go buy things to make me happy after watching the movie because I was just upset with the movie. So I did not like the movie. I will say though, I gave the movie a 7 out of 10. I don't think, from the bottom of my heart, that this is a bad movie. I think it might be a misdirected movie. I think there are definitely aspects of it that were just not good. Like people were miscast. The director was just not good. They should have gotten someone else. With that said, I think the movie is still enjoyable. It's still a good. It's still a okay movie. I didn't like it though, and that to me doesn't warrant necessarily bringing the score down as much as some people have been giving it. Like currently on Rotten Tomatoes, it's got I think a 30% right now out of 100.
29. I thought
It's been
At
going
29.
down between 29 and 30.
Like to me, that's insane. Like the reality of that is that this movie is being classified as like worse than some of the total worst movies out there. It's like
Isn't it
this
worse?
is
It's
Like,
rated
than
worse
The
than The
Room?
Room, yeah.
rated
Yeah,
worse
okay, it's
than
not
The
that bad.
Room. It's not that bad. It is not a 3 out of 10.
It's
Okay,
rated
yeah.
less than Fantastic Four. It's not that bad either. Fantastic Four is a travesty of a movie.
Yeah, I enjoyed
Batman
this
vs.
movie
Superman
better than
is
I did
not that bad.
Stupid Fantastic Four. I'll say
And
that.
of course,
Right.
Yeah, we're
Um,
talking about the original Fantastic Four.
No,
right?
I'm talking about the
that
new
was rated
one.
like an 8%.
No, we're talking about the new one.
Wait, what's the new one rated?
I don't remember.
I thought that was like
That's a
8.
good question. No, you're right. You are talking about the old one. Yeah.
Yeah,
the new
the
one
old
is like
one is the
3
one
times
that's-
less
Oh,
than
right, that's
BVS.
right.
I would
Yeah.
say I enjoyed this more than I did Spider-Man 3 and X-Men
Really?
3.
Yeah.
It's not that bad either.
You enjoyed
yeah,
this more
I
than
would say
X-Men
that.
3 is a
Spider-Man 3?
terrible movie.
X-Men 3
No,
is
but
a bad
Spider-Man
movie.
3?
There's yeah,
Spider-Man 3 is a
not that
terrible
good.
yeah,
movie
it
too,
sucks,
dude.
but
I don't like
this
Spider-Man 3,
movie
man.
is So the main problem
See,
I have
okay,
with this movie is
listen.
that it's boring.
Yeah, well, see,
This
the thing
movie
with,
is
Right,
so
but
boring.
it's funny.
For the first
It's
hour
funny,
and a half,
it's funny.
It's a snooze fest.
It is true, but see, the thing with Spider-Man 3 is like the complete opposite scenario here. I came out of Batman v Superman mad, disliked the movie, but I can admit that it's not a bad movie. Spider-Man 3 is completely different. I love Spider-Man 3, but that is a terrible movie.
Yeah,
That is
but at
an
least
awful
you
movie.
can enjoy
It's
it. I
really
feel
bad.
like the most important factor when it comes to movies in general is just how much you enjoy it. Did it entertain you? Did it make you feel some way? This and that. This is like the criteria for every
Oh, no.
single movie.
I enjoyed
Generally.
Yeah, but we're
it.
talking about
I
ratings. though.
I would say for me that I would rank a movie by how well the plot is.
Right.
Or how well the plot is, or how well the visual, like
Yeah,
how well the movie markets itself, and how well it delivers up to that.
My
Like, for instance-
enjoyment of it is for me,
See-
but if I'm gonna actually
Right.
classify this movie and rate it in comparison to other movies, I'm gonna try and give it a rating based on the actual film aspects of the movie, like how good of a film it is, not just
Right.
what I liked about it. The things
Right.
that it actually does.
I
right.
like some terrible movies. I will admit. I like some movies which are not good, and I'll admit that
Yeah,
they're not
like
good.
Iron Man 2,
And
which had like no plot.
I love
That
Iron
movie
Man
is
2.
terrible.
I love Iron Man 3. I think they're great movies. Iron Man 3 is my
Iron Man
favorite
2
Christmas
has,
movie.
like no plot, and yet you're here
Christmas
like,
movie.
oh, I like
Was it-
movies for the
all right,
plot.
there are issues.
See, here's the thing. Here's the
There's
thing. You guys are
issues.
talking about plot. No, I agree. Plot is very important too. This movie also had no plot.
No, it had a plot.
Really?
It was just
It
all
had
over
a
the
plot.
place.
It
did
looked
have
like
a plot.
it looked like it had
It
five
had,
different
dude,
plots.
it had
and
more
tried
of
to
a
cram
plot than
it.
Amazing Spider-Man 2 did.
It has. Okay, listen,
it had
has
as much
more
of a plot as Amazing Spider-Man 2 did.
It has more of an plot
No,
than,
it
like,
didn't.
say, Mad Max. But Mad Max is still a better film because the plot, even though it's not too complex, is simple, it's easy to follow, the limits what you want to see out of Mad Max,
Mad
you get.
Max is very simple and easy to follow. It's a solid plot. I mean, a baby could probably figure it out. Batman v Superman had no plot. I didn't understand who I was supposed to be following, what I was supposed to be caring about. Because you got this
badly written
you got this
plot.
subplot with Lois, you got a subplot with Lex, you got a subplot with Superman, you got a subplot with Batman. You're like, what is happening? Oh yeah, and then there's Wonder Woman.
No. There's still a plot. It's just
the
bad.
The plot for BVS is as follows. In the wake of Metropolis's battle with Zod and Superman, Lex Luthor attempts to seize power by pitting Batman and Superman against each other. That's the plot of the movie. Everything he did tied into that premise.
Was it? Because that didn't become apparent until the last half hour of the movie.
Yeah, no, listen.
Well, yes, that is
Ben,
typically
you're
because
saying
it was a
has
mystery.
No plot.
There was no mystery.
Yeah,
the only mystery is why this movie was even made.
Oh my gosh, Ben. Come on, dude. That's what literally just gave you the plot.
Yeah, there is a plot,
That's a synopsis that you'll find on IMDb. That's like what this movie is supposed to be.
That's what a plot is!
I didn't pull anything from IMDb.
That's basically what it says on IMDb.
That's what
but
the
when you
plot
walk
is.
into this,
Look.
You just
spoiler talk. If you have not seen this movie, please do not stop listening now if you don't want to get
unless you
spoiled.
don't want to see the movie, which I completely understand, in which case
yeah,
you keep
I would
watching.
understand too. We're going to be talking about spoilers because we're talking about the plot now, so we might as well get into spoilers.
Lex's
Okay.
plan
No, let's
and the
talk
plot of
about
the movie.
let's talk about Amazing Spider-Man 2's plot. which
It does
which
have.
It was a thing.
Which is what? Exactly.
when New York is put under siege by Oscorp, it's up to Spider-Man to save the city he swore to protect as well as his
put
loved
under
ones.
siege by Oscorp.
Wow, that's a terrible.
That's the plot. That's what it
terrible
says on
synopsis.
IMDb.
No, it
That's
isn't.
not-
Spider-Man.
I'm not saying. Listen, I'm saying that this is the plot of Spider-Man 2. Spider-Man's having some issues with his girlfriend. In the meantime, a new supervillain's created.
In the meantime,
experience with
Aunt May
Spider-Man.
is having some issues.
Oh yeah, Aunt May is also having some issues.
In the meantime,
supervillain idolizes
his dad
Spider-Man,
also
then he
has
gets
a
turned
thing.
against Spider-Man.
Yeah,
And in
Listen,
the meantime,
yeah,
an old childhood
yeah,
friend
well,
returns.
you know what? Here's the thing about Batman v Superman. Sure, Lex is plotting and doing this stuff to pit Batman and Superman against it. Meanwhile, Batman is trying to figure out what Lex is hiding. Meanwhile, Superman's doing his thing.
Then
Being
I'm
all
not
that
saying
no,
it's
no.
bad. I'm not saying it's
Listen.
a good plot. I'm saying there's a plot.
No, but see, here, like, we're trying to make this comparison to Amazing Spider-Man 2. The difference is Amazing Spider-Man 2 had all these different plot threads going on that didn't have any relevance to each other at all. Barely anything. They kind of intermingled every now and then, but for the most part, this event had nothing to do with this event. Whereas Batman v Superman, sure, has a lot of different things going on, but they all are in direct correlation. You mentioned the Lois Lane thing. That was in direct correlation with Lex's plan. He knew that Lois Lane was the key to bringing Superman out into the open, which is why he put her in a situation where she was in danger. So that Superman could be there, he could kill a bunch of people, and it looked like Superman killed a bunch of people. It was still part of the plan. Just because that scene felt like it didn't belong in the movie, it felt like it wasn't a part of the plot, doesn't mean it actually wasn't. There was a reason it was there.
The same stuff happens with all the Batman stuff. Batman is trying to outwit Lex, and he's trying to steal all the stuff Lex has.
In
like
order
the
to
kryptonite and
fight
stuff.
Superman,
but
which
Lex
is part of Lex's
right,
plan.
in order to fight Superman. Right, but Lex is also counting on that. He's trying to put Superman and Batman against each other. When they don't eventually kill each other, then the ultimate part of his plan is to unleash Doomsday on everybody.
Which is stupid.
Which
All this
feels,
stuff-
which is
right, it's
stupid,
stupid.
and it feels like it doesn't belong in the movie, but
Right.
it's still relevant to the plot. It still makes
Right.
sense in the grand scheme of the
Man
movie
won't
and his
kill
plan.
God,
The only thing
quote.
that really doesn't make sense is Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman's whole thing is kind
Her
of
role in this movie is literally to set up the Justice League. That's all she's here for.
yeah,
all
there's-
you guys
there's no,
explained
like,
to
there-
me
you don't
is
know why she's
how
there.
Lex actually makes a plot out of this movie, and nobody else really does.
Yeah,
But
the whole
but
plot is
that's
around
what the
Lex.
plot
Lex
is.
is the
The-
villain
yeah,
of
the
the
plot
movie.
revolves
the
around
plot
Lex Luthor.
supposedly is.
Yeah, okay, you're right. You're right.
Gosh.
Listen, no, Ben is right. The plot is supposed to be
because
Lex
like you guys
versus everybody
explained
else,
it, and it makes
it's
more
poorly
sense
done.
coming out of you guys than it comes from the movie.
I mean, I was never saying it was done
100%.
well. I was just saying, like, this is what it is.
It's a badly executed plot.
No argument
The plot still is, it's not like Grown Ups 2. Grown Ups 2 has no plot. Okay, if you ever watched that movie is stupid. It literally has nothing to it. Or like My Dinner with Andre, which has no plot either. This movie does have a plot. It's poorly executed, poorly written, not poorly acted. There's some good parts.
Yeah, and that's basically what I'm saying.
The actors did well. The actors did well with what they could do. Like, they couldn't do anything different.
Yeah, the actors were the best part of the
I'm talking
movie.
more about the execution than the actual existence of plot, which is why I say
you're right.
this movie practically had no plot, because it didn't present it well.
Let's talk about something that really gets me, okay? Let's start at the beginning, alright? Let's start at the beginning. Superman rescues Lois Lane. Jimmy Olsen shows up for 2 seconds.
Jimmy Olsen.
And he's like, Jimmy Olsen is shot. Dead. Like, shot in the head immediately. And, he's like maybe a secret agent?
Yeah, he's also a CIA agent for some reason.
CIA
Who knows why?
agent, maybe. Possibly.
Terrible.
And then, also, Superman is somehow framed? ?
Because apparently Superman uses guns now, I guess.
Yeah, it's like, all right, I get that. Like, if Superman was on trial for what he did to Metropolis, they could just cut that whole
that
part
part was
out.
so
I think
meaningless.
that part's only there to make Lois Lane a little important.
Yeah,
I
that's
guess.
really all.
Gave her
It's
something
there to
chase
make
for
her
the whole
relevant.
movie, chasing
Yeah, but
that
like,
bullet.
Wait, right? It's like Superman is framed for ? Like, anyone with a brain is like, oh, these people are clearly shot by bullets. Which Superman doesn't use because he can punch through somebody with his fist.
Right.
So
and
Superman obviously didn't do this.
You make such a great point, Kahi, because like there was no need for that because we already established the whole destruction in Man of Steel. We already have a thing to put Superman to trial for. We didn't need this scene to set Superman up. He's already been set up. We didn't need that. That was literally only there so that Lois Lane could be relevant and also so that we had like a visual key that Lex knows Lois and Superman are tied to each other, so that when he eventually puts her in danger, we know, oh, Lex didn't just randomly find out. Yeah.
Also, is Superman able to find Lois in the middle of the desert? ? I guess he's able to hear her from like across the world.
My favorite part about that
Selective
is that
hearing, bro.
Superman can just my favorite part about that is that Superman can just magically show up whenever Lois is in danger, but when it happens to his mom, I guess not.
Oh my god, that was
my
stupid.
mom,
that whole thing was stupid.
Okay, the whole thing of his mom's also stupid.
Can we just talk about how
the beginning?
The movie's titled Batman v Superman. The actual fight is over a misunderstanding.
And it's resolved over, like, a piece of trivia.
It's like, oh, guess what? Our moms have the same name. What? Really? Okay, bro, I'll help you.
Why did you say that name? Why did you say that name?
Okay, and here, I've heard people try to apologize for this scene all across the internet. Meso, you linked me a Reddit thread. It makes no sense. People are like, well, Batman, the reason why Batman is doing this is because, he sees that Superman is human, just like him, and he's wanting to help his mom. But Batman thinks that Superman has parents. He says so when he's fighting Superman. He says, I bet your parents always told you were great, huh? That you were meant to be something or something, whatever.
Yep.
Like, he already thinks that Superman has parents, so presumably he knows that Superman has a mom. So I don't know why suddenly his mom having the same name as, Bruce's mom. And also, there's no reason why. This movie's so stupid. Why doesn't Batman know Clark Kent's secret identity? Or not Clark Kent. I guess so. Clark Kent's secret identity. That's Superman. Why doesn't he know Martha Kent? Anyone with a brain that looks up at Clark knows, okay, only living relative is Martha. His only living relative is his mom.
Listen, that was the biggest issue I had with this whole movie is that Batman was a freaking idiot in this entire movie.
Yeah.
He had all the Batman qualities, but none of the Bruce Wayne qualities or anything that would have made sense for his character. He wasn't a detective. He wasn't smart. He didn't do anything smart. He was a freaking moron, completely driven by rage, trying to kill Superman. It didn't make any sense to me that he wanted to kill Superman. First of all, that didn't make any sense to me at all.
He might as well have just worn a skull on his chest because he's the Punisher in this movie.
Right.
Okay, let's
It
not
was,
let's not try to go around this. He's the Punisher who knows a bit
It
more.
was actually really hilarious because I got out of the theater and I was walking out the door to the theater and I come across this group of 5 guys and they're all huddled around and they're talking about the movie and I just hear this one guy say really loudly, he's like, "That movie was fun, but all I was thinking throughout the whole movie, Batman's killing everybody."
Batman has no chill. Batman has no chill.
That was my biggest problem with
straight
this
up
movie,
murdering people.
Batman, just like Var said, there are aspects of Batman in there, like the fighting style, the look, and I guess the way he talked.
He looked great.
He looked great.
There were some aspects I really like. It's just wow, this is a little bit of an improvement, say, over Nolan's Batman. But then, just the essence of the character, his morality is
just
his
not
reasoning.
there. Okay, and again, people online are like, "Well, this Batman's old, he's jaded, and maybe he's lost, killing thing."
Yeah, but they don't explain that too well in the movie.
The only do this, they don't explain that ever.
They're like, "Oh,
Zack
Batman,
Snyder
you're
does
branding."
the stupid thing. I don't know. Not only does he not do show not tell, he does the inverse. He shows you all the stuff that you already know, but he doesn't show you the stuff that you're actually need to get the characters.
Like all those times that he put up the stupid dreams on the
yeah.
What were those
Oh my
dumb
god,
dreams?
those
Like,
dream sequences were
Max
so
Batman.
dumb.
That was
Don't
stupid.
get me started on freaking on Martha, and then it shows the freaking thing, it's shooting her parents again.
Yeah, every shows the origin story.
Yes,
I don't
Jesus,
understand
what?
why
Come
Zack
on.
Snyder thought that we needed. So he thinks that
I literally
audiences, they
facepalmed at
aren't
that point
familiar.
too.
Zack Snyder thinks that audiences are not familiar enough with Batman that they need his origin story spoon-fed to them for however many times now, but yet he thinks people are familiar enough with DC Comics to understand the dream sequence.
Right, exactly. He's like,
I
people.
don't understand.
I don't think people will get that his mom's name is Martha, even though we said it earlier in the film. But man, they'll know what parademons are, and the Flash. They'll know that he can travel through time and talk to people in dreams, which is a new power that the Flash has. Apparently,
the Flash was.
he just travel through
Flash
dreams.
that was
he can
really
give freaking
stupid.
visions to people. That's the thing.
That was okay. That scene was really, really cool to me. I really enjoyed that scene. I did not realize that he was in a dream. And Kahi, you mentioned that to me the other day, and I went back and I found a pirated copy of that scene
Right.
that was uploaded on YouTube.
Right.
I rewatched it. The Flash is actually in his dream. That was really weird. It's when I initially watched that, I thought, okay, he's dreaming about the stupid nightmare, and then he wakes up and the Flash is there warning him. Cool, and that's in the end of the scene. Rewatched it. No, he wakes up from the nightmare. Flash warns him, and then he wakes up again.
Right. He wakes
So
up
what
again.
was that? Was that a dream?
Yeah, I don't freaking know.
Yeah, it makes no sense, man. And all those times that
okay.
they've been doing the dreams, they could have just spent that time actually developing Batman's character a little bit and giving him a reason,
All it would have taken
maybe
was
explaining
one
why he
conversation
kills
or
now.
one monologue. Yeah, it could have even been.
Batman kills poor Shipyard guys. These guys are doing their job. They work for Lex Luthor.
They are not even
They're
criminals.
not even criminals.
Yeah,
They're
Batman
literally
kills people who are not even criminals. They are just doing their job for Lex
Yeah,
Luthor.
dude,
They are
that's
just
even
My
saving the
friend
fox.
was like, well, obviously, if they know that the senators put the lock on it, they know they're doing something illegal. Number one,
You're giving a lot of credit to Lex Luthor to have actually told
Right.
all the people working for him that he is illegally smuggling things into the
number
US.
two,
I guarantee you there are people in that truck that had no clue what the heck
Right,
they were bringing in.
exactly.
They were just doing their job.
that's one thing. The second thing is illegally doing a shipping job is not worth dying for. It's not like
Getting
It's not
murdered!
like a murder thing. It's not like, wow, you're a
He murdered them
pedophile
for
or a
smuggling!
rapist or a murderer. No, I was just
that
transferring
Batmobile
a
scene
box to someone.
where he shoots that one car with the little grappling hook from the Batmobile. That as soon as he did that, I was like, oh no, no. And then he starts dragging
Yeah,
it
and he
and
does
smashing it all over the place, killing the people inside.
There are people in that car.
Killing the people inside
Batman,
that car.
there are
and I'm-
people in that
Oh
car.
my
What are you
God.
doing?
The thing is,
As
too,
soon as I realized what
let's
he
not-
was doing, I got sad. I got really sad.
The thing is, let's not pretend that Bruce Wayne hasn't had some illegal stuff shipped to him from Wayne Enterprises to be Batman. Let's not pretend that, suddenly Bruce Wayne is like, well, I've never done that. He's literally stealing something from Lex. It's not like he's returning it back to the people it was originally owed. He's stealing it for Lex so he can kill Superman. That's the whole reason he's doing that. Alright, and it's also...
Exactly.
It's and also... the thing is, I don't even think they're doing anything illegal because Lex did the whole thing to murder the senator that was stopping him from getting it. So I think the whole reason he murdered her is so that he could get that block lifted off the thing so we can get the kryptonite in, which means it was illegal.
Right, because the thing that happened, the thing that happened, yeah, you're absolutely right, Kahi. Oh my gosh.
Right.
She never actually initiated the plan.
No.
She never actually set up the block. She was in the process of doing that. That's when she got murdered. It
Right,
never
that's
happened.
why-
It was
never
never
happened.
blocked. It wasn't illegal to smuggle that into the U.S.
No, absolutely not.
Batman just murdered a bunch of innocent people for no reason.
Literally because...
To steal,
Literally-
to rob property so that he can commit more murder.
Oh
And
my
let's face
gosh.
it, Lex Luthor also bought it from the people that found it. Lex Luthor bought it with money. Batman just straight up steals it. He doesn't even, no problem, murders a bunch of innocent Shipyard guys working for Lex, steals it, and like, we were like, okay, well that's, and also, Batman brands people and they go to jail and
Dude,
they're
I
murdered.
hate that.
Why?
I hate the branding.
I
The
don't
branding.
know. Why it's like, oh man, you got
The
a
branding
bat
thing,
tattoo?
dude.
You are dead. Why? I
Brand
don't
the
know. I have no idea. I've noticed
Because
never.
it's like a sign of weakness, but the thing is, Batman knows that. He knows that if he brands these people, they're gonna die.
Not even that. Why
He's
does that
giving
make
them a death
sense?
sentence.
Why does that make sense that they're branded with a bat symbol and thus people beat them up in prison? Why is that a thing?
Well, it makes sense because it shows that they were weak. They got taken down by the bat.
Right, but
Like that's not a thing that should have happened.
Wait,
like it makes
so
sense
what?
when you really think about gang culture and that kind of
Right,
stuff.
yeah,
Like
but,
it doesn't make any
yeah,
sense
everyone
either.
else there got taken down by the cops. That's why they're in prison. It's not.
Listen,
it's like all right.
to
Well,
me,
if
that-
I
that's-
got taken down by a freak of nature ninja who stalked in the dark. That would be way more badass than like me going up against like a freaking cop. Like, oh man, the cops came, the DEA surrounded us, and our drug operation was up. Well, I got attacked by a freaking nightmare creature out of the dark. Like, that's like, man, you put up with that. You're still alive? Holy crap, dude. That's crazy. I heard you. All the other people are dead.
I get what you're saying.
All
Yeah.
the other people in my cocaine
Gonna make
industry are
like a
dead
whole
'cause he
bunch of
murdered them.
examples now.
I'm the only one alive.
He's still
And
going.
tattooed.
Shut up.
No, like I feel
Oh,
like
but
I feel
Batman
like
was
I
just
should
an
not
idiot, dude.
have. I feel like I'm doing something wrong, but I really liked Batman.
Oh, I like
mean,
that.
I
what?
like his
I-
brutality.
I liked Batman too. I just like he was just an idiot.
I like
it's like
the idea of
the
it.
whole time it was like I was playing Arkham Knight like a video game. It's like if Batman was playing Arkham Knight. Actually, it's like if he was playing a video game and he just did everything that he wanted to do in real life.
Yeah, this is a Batman
But
mod for
it's
GTA.
Yeah, exactly. He's playing GTA or something. It's like it was like playing Arkham Knight, except every time that you hit somebody and that like the Batmobile does that like little electric shock to save them. That's just not there. That's just not there.
Right.
So it's like he just murdered. He straight up killed so many people, and it bothered me so much watching the movie, not understanding why Batman's first thought was I need to kill Superman. It just didn't make sense to me, even after seeing.
If there's a 1% chance, we must take it as an absolute certainty.
No, that was such a logic leap, especially for someone as logical as Batman. It did not make sense to me that his first thought was we need to kill this thing. Killing just seems like such an extreme, especially for a character who's built his entire career based on the fact that he needs to stop people from killing things.
And here's the thing too, all right? Because you never see that lead up to the thing where Batman's like, I have to make this hard decision. We never see that. He immediately wants to kill Superman. Here's all right. Here's how you do here's how you do this plot.
Oh,
that would make
no.
sense, okay?
Here
Here's
we go,
how you do
everybody,
it.
buckle in.
Yeah, buckle in. No, here's what happens. Superman starts intervening in stuff in third world countries. He starts saving stuff, and because of that, like more war starts breaking
have
out,
time
and
for
more like
this?
he intervenes in military stuff.
Yeah, we're fine.
We're fine. We're gonna make this an extra long episode. So
We're actually making good time.
So like he goes in the Senate and they're like, "Hey Superman, stop interfering and stuff because you're kind of, there's a lot of political stuff and third world country stuff and you're kind of messing it up by just coming in and, with the giant S symbol and like saving all people and doing that kind of thing. Could you maybe work with the US military?" And Superman's like, "You kidding me? People are in danger here. I'm not gonna stop doing that." And they're like, "Sir, this is the government asking you to stand down." Superman's like, "All right, well, you can try to stop me. I'm gonna go keep saving lives. Your government's gonna do whatever." And Batman's like, "Okay, so like, what if he actually he's already ignoring government. What if he just keeps doing that?" And then he talks to Superman. Superman's like, "I'm still not budging on this. I'm still gonna save all the lives I can." And Batman's like, you're killing people out there because you're naive and stupid, and you need to listen to people. And Superman's like, no. And Batman's like, listen, if you don't do this, we're gonna have to put you down, because what happens if you decide that you know better than the government? And he's like, well, and Superman's like, well, maybe the government just doesn't know what they're doing. And then Batman's like, okay, now you're a threat to everybody. Now I'm gonna have to kill you.
Yeah, exactly.
See, there you go.
We never saw
That's
Batman try to reasonably stop
Not
this.
even when they
he went
confronted
straight
each
to
other.
murder.
Even when they confronted each other,
He
Superman's
was ready
trying
to kill
to
him.
like.
He's like, do you bleed? You will.
When
One-liners,
Superman's
that's
like,
it.
Listen, Bruce, I don't know how I know you now, but Bruce, we gotta talk about this. No. And then Superman goes up to him and is like, all right, come on, dude. Like, okay, screw it. Let's not talk. I'm gonna push you.
Yeah, it's like, even when he decided to kill Superman, he didn't even try to do it in a humane way. He got a freaking spear. That's like the most un-Batman thing to have ever happened. He was going to beat the crap out of him and stab him with a spear. What is this movie?
I like it.
Zack Snyder, man. It's angsty, it's modern, it's hip.
I'm a weirdo, I guess.
It's
So, like,
hip,
I
it's
like
now.
everything about Batman. Like, it's a very different interpretation of the character, and depending on where they go in the future, if they do, like, a pseudo-redemption arc where Batman, like, because of his friends and, like, the Justice League, he kind of, like, turns back to his old ways, and we maybe get some flashbacks showing, like, the Joker or whatever, killing, like, Robin.
And
It'd be
that's
cool.
fine. That's fine. The thing is, you're saying that you like what they've done here based off the potential for what they could have done and what they could do in the future, not based off of what they actually did.
Exactly.
Right. And that was the thing in Man of Steel where people
And
are
that's
like,
my issue with the movie, because that was my opinion too. I was like, well, this could be saved depending on what they do going forward.
But it shouldn't
the
need
issue
that.
is, I shouldn't have that mentality. I shouldn't be like, well, they could save this in the future. No, it should have been fine now.
Yeah,
this
exactly.
movie should
Their
stand on its own.
fruition
Okay, on
endeavors
its
to,
own.
like, start a universe at the end and, like, have to do reverse storytelling. It's like it's not working.
Yeah, it just.
and okay,
You know, I guarantee you they did the spear thing too to be some more stupid Jesus symbolism.
yeah,
for
because we're
Superman.
stabbing him in the side.
I guarantee it.
Definitely. No.
Yeah,
no,
I
here's the
guarantee
thing,
that's
though.
what they were going
If
for.
Batman has a humane way to kill Superman, they can't stab Doomsday with it.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah,
True.
that's why. And also,
They couldn't use it
God
against Doomsday.
forbid, Superman's like, oh no, this thing makes me weak. Hey, Wonder Woman, hey, could you stab him with this? I know you have a sword. Just you give me this sword, and I'll give you this spear that kills me if I touch it, and then you can go and stab him, and then we're all good.
Right.
You know, we're all great.
No one is smart in this movie. They
No.
just do stuff. They're just like, well, time to move on with the plot now. Haha.
Well,
And
and
they
also
just do
the
it.
plot makes them stupid. The plot omits stuff that's like, all right, how come Batman doesn't know Superman's secret identity? All right, maybe for whatever reason, Batman is not a better detective than Lex Luthor, who somehow knows Superman's secret identity. But Lex Luthor is a better detective than Batman. Okay, fine. Why doesn't Batman get that information when he hacks all of Lex Luthor's Justice League files? Why isn't there a Superman logo next to Flash and
Where's
Cyborg?
the Superman's?
Right.
Where's the Superman file?
Where's the Superman file? Which you would think Batman's like, oh yeah, that's the number one thing I need to get because that's what I'm doing right now, and I want to get all the information Lex Luthor has on Superman.
Right. Why the heck did he have a bunch of folders to people he didn't even care, completely irrelevant characters, and not the one person he's actually trying to find information about?
Right. Why is that not
What
a
is
thing?
going on?
How does Lex Luthor know that Martha
what is
exists
going
and
on?
Batman
Many
doesn't?
trailers.
Also, why is Batman like, how did you know that name? Because I know you're Bruce Wayne and I did one Google search and I found that your parents died. That's it. I literally looked you up on Wikipedia and that's what it said. So, yeah, that's not that hard. I'm a reporter. I look on Wikipedia for a living.
Oh God, this movie is just so
It's so-
dumb.
there's so much
it's just
dumb
so
stuff.
dumb. It just like there are just so many things in the movie that just happen just because they just wanted it to be that way.
Let's talk about Superman. Who is
Oh,
Superman?
boy.
Nobody knows. I haven't seen
Superman
Superman yet be
is
Superman.
the good guy who's tragic
Ugh.
because his dad died and nobody likes him, but he wants to do the right thing, but nobody will let him, so he has to fight Batman.
Superman is
another reason why
there's no scene with Superman where Superman's just being Superman. There's no scene where Superman's like being a nice
Not
guy.
a single scene.
All the scenes that have Superman saving people are in the context of these people worshiping him.
Guys.
There's him in the sky
Yep.
on the flood. There's a flood, by the way, and Superman's up by the sun, floating in midair, his arm outstretched like Jesus, and people are reaching up to him. He saves a girl from the forest. Everybody with skulls reaches their hands up to him like they're worshiping him as he comes down. They're all in the context that he's super god.
So not Superman.
Not even close.
Not even, no.
Oh, did you guys see that one? I don't know if... Oh,
Wait,
I
hold
wish I
up.
had this on hand. There's a comic. There's a comic I saw of Superman. It was like a panel from the Superman comics where like there's this girl about to commit suicide, and then Superman shows up behind her, and she turns around, and like he's like, "It'll be okay" or whatever. Or, like your doctor missed your appointment because he was actually busy.
Yeah, he's from Superman, All-Star Superman, which is one of the greatest Superman stories ever written by Grant Morrison.
And like she turns around and hugs him.
Right.
And then at the top it says "Real Superman" or something like that, and on the right of it says "Snyder Superman," and it has the exact same panel of the girl about to commit suicide, and then an explosion, and Superman just flying away.
Like Superman, like maybe looks a little bummed out, like in the Senate, where like the explosion happens around him, and he turns his head. He's like, "Oh man, this fire's on my face. Man, that sucks. All these dead people."
Wow.
Oh boy.
There's one more thing that makes that whole Batmobile scene stupid. Batman had already put a tracker on the thing. So why did he need to chase it down with the Batmobile?
Oh yeah.
Why did he chase them down?
That's 100% true.
Just so we could. It was just so we could get a cool scene with the Batmobile.
Yep.
That is all it is.
Yeah.
That's all this movie is. That's all Snyder is. He thinks of cool looking.
This is what Snyder.
He thinks of cool looking things, cool looking scenes, things that he thinks might be neat looking, and then he just wraps the plot around that so that he can get to those points.
Yep.
He basically makes his whole movie like cool scene, cool scene.
Oh, this would
cool
look
scene.
pretty
Okay,
cool.
now
Let's throw it in there.
How do I get from this cool scene to that cool scene? We'll just throw that in there. Cool. Now we're here. That's all Snyder is.
Is what happened. I feel is that Snyder's like, okay, here's what I want to do. I want to do the Dark Knight Returns. I want to adapt that on screen. I also want to do the Death and Return of Superman. And DC's like, okay, Zach, but reviews from Man of Steel weren't that great. So maybe we'll change up some plans. Maybe you just direct Batman v Superman, and that's it. And Snyder's like, you can't take this away from me. You can't take this away from me. I want to do Dark Knight Returns, and I want Death of Superman. And they're like, well, it's too much. You can't do one movie, Zach. I'm just doing right now. I'm Zack Snyder. I'm gonna put on both of these. I mean, I want Batman versus Superman, and then I want the Jesus, and then he's dying, and he's hiding down, and the Trinity's there.
Yeah, can we talk about Doomsday? Like Superman dying?
Oh boy, Doomsday.
My gosh.
Doomsday is basically Superboy. Is what we're getting. It's General Zod, Kryptonian DNA, plus Lex Luthor's DNA, which, as you would expect, instead of turning him into like a really attractive younger version of Superman, just creates a horrible genetic like monstrosity. You know, like this thing that shouldn't exist, and it goes and it kills. And now I guess Lex Luthor's DNA gives it the ability to evolve with spikes? Question mark? Maybe.
In the interest of saying something positive, I did enjoy the Doomsday fight sequence. I thought I wouldn't because I thought it was gonna be like them slamming through buildings and stuff, but like they had this arena and they did a lot of cool maneuvers, like Wonder Woman would like hack at him and Superman would fly down and smash him.
I liked it, yeah, like, listen, I liked it, but I just couldn't get away from how stupid Batman was.
Okay. The spear.
They led.
Oh, don't get me started on this stupid spear.
Stupid freaking... He was in a secluded freaking area away from any civilians so that there would be no casualties. In a completely secluded area in the middle of the ocean, and Batman's like, oh no, I need the spear. Better lead him back to the city.
Maybe Batman's like, well,
Batman thinks that's a good idea.
I love how
this is
I
Batman.
feel like Batman's like, well,
what are we doing?
I bought all this area and it needs to be demolished anyway. So instead of paying for a construction crew, I'm just gonna have Doomsday just fly through all this stuff. That's what I was thinking there. I can't understand. I can't think of any other reason why he's like, oh wow, the spear's over there. I'm gonna take my plane and fly there and come back. I don't know why. Also,
that's why I don't know. Why couldn't he just leave and then come back? It's like if Doomsday is going to go into a city Let him do it on his own accord. Why are you leading him to the city? He's just standing there right now.
Idea.
While he's just standing there
idea.
distracted, leveling up, go into the city and get the stupid spear and then come back.
I have no idea.
You don't need to lead him. You don't need to distract him. It's such a stupid
maybe
plan.
I'm giving them way too much credit. I'm just trying to explain it away. I don't necessarily think this is true. What if the logic was like, okay, well, Superman can't fight him. If he's left to his own devices, he's going to kill people. What if I distract him, focus him on me, and I just dodge around him as I fly back to the spear? He's about to kill me. He's like focused on me, and then I stab him with the spear.
No, but I mean,
but that's flawed logic because the idea is that you're trying to save civilian casualties. You're trying to prevent that.
Yeah.
To do that, you wouldn't lead him into a place where there are going to be civilian casualties.
Oh boy, man. Oh.
It just doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, okay, there is one great part there's two great parts about the Doomsday scene. The first part is when Doomsday fires his mouth laser, eye laser, face laser thing. You know, like, I'm firing my laser. He literally makes that face where he's like doing the thing. And then
yeah,
the explosion happens, and then Wonder Woman's like there with the bracelets, and that theme starts playing, and I was like,
that theme is so good.
That theme is good.
That's a good theme. I'm like, all right.
That was cool.
And you know what the thing was? The moment that happened, like, oh my god, this is just out of a Marvel movie. It's like it's a Marvel movie now. And go on.
As shoehorned as Wonder Woman kind of was for this plot, she was the best part about it, in my opinion. I loved Wonder Woman.
So cool.
She was the best one.
Yeah.
That moment, my second
she
favorite
was so
moment,
cool.
when Doomsday like knocks her down, and she gets like she's getting up, but she has that smile on her face. I was like,
oh,
there we go.
Yeah,
Like
she's enjoying the
her.
fight, like she's getting a kick out of it. It was so cool,
so awesome. That was a spectacular job of that character.
Yep.
Yeah, Wonder Woman was fantastic.
Wonder Woman
every time she was on
great.
screen and every time that music played, I was like, yes. Like, even for like completely stupid, like menial things. Like there's one scene where like Batman's going through the footage and he sees Wonder Woman at a freaking ATM machine. Right? That's the dumbest scene ever. Dumbest scene ever. But the music plays and
The
you're
music
like,
is
oh
like,
yeah, she's getting cash.
Everything is like,
Wonder
it also plays.
Wonder
Wonder Woman on the plane. When Wonder Woman's looking through YouTube files of the ever Justice League, and it plays during that one too.
Yeah, and the music plays. Like,
there we go. Justice League, baby.
Flash in a convenience store.
Okay, hey. Flashy
Aquaman
shopping.
staring into the camera for a minute. Oh yeah.
Okay,
Aquaman
that was dumb.
that
That
was
was so dumb.
Cyborg's
I
got
love
a
how
YouTube
they
fan film.
You know what happened? I guarantee this is what happened. Jason Momoa was like, listen, guys, I need like this amount of money. And they're like, well, to have that amount of money, you would have to be in the film for this long. He's like, yep. And they're like, crap. Just point a camera at him and just keep it rolling until it hits the minute mark. And then we're good. We've made our money's worth.
Right.
Man, that was so dumb.
That's pretty dumb.
Like you had Aquaman just staring at the camera for like a minute before he decides, I guess I'll just destroy this for no reason. He just does, and it's like, what was that? What was happening there?
Like that scene is too long. Okay, hey, loved Wonder Woman. Loved, Wonder Woman's introduction. Loved every scene she was in. Almost, her like normal person scenes were alright, but almost every scene I liked. She was great. One of the great parts of this movie. You know who's not a good part of this movie, and who's
Lois Lane.
Yeah.
Lois Lane was probably my second least favorite part. My worst part of the movie, my least favorite part was Martha. My second part is Lois Lane being a worthless human being.
I want to make sure that this isn't a thing where it's like, just hating on the fact that Lois Lane is an important part. Because again, loved Wonder Woman, thought Wonder Woman was great in this movie. The plot bends around Lois Lane being important. It tries its hardest to make Lois Lane be important. Oh, it's his mother's name. Oh, I'm gonna toss the spear into this pit.
I'm gonna go get it back.
I'm gonna get it back. Oh no, I'm trapped under. Fortunately, my boyfriend can hear me even though he can't hear his mom.
It's like she throws it away and then has to go get it and then gets trapped under rocks so Superman can save her.
She was so dumb.
The worst.
Oh man.
God, this movie was so dumb.
It takes away saving Martha too. There's like that whole period where Batman's like, "I believe you," and he shoots the fire thing. Yep. The guy goes on fire. What? That is a big moment in The Dark Knight Returns when you're like, Batman has no choice, and you're like, it's like ambiguous. Did he really shoot him in the face? Did he not? This one's like, oh, Batman murdered another person. Okay,
I wish that
there's
had been
no
the only
thing to
time
that.
in the movie where he had killed somebody, because that would have had emotional impact.
I might have been like, okay, well, maybe he is serious because, like, hey, you know, maybe he sees his mom dying here, and he's like, I would have shot that guy to save my mom. Okay, maybe, but he just kills so many people without disregarding this movie. And there's scenes, the dream sequence.
And there's no explanation for it. He just does it.
His dream sequence where he's just shooting people with an AK-47 and a pistol back and forth. Kind of ruined it for me, where I was like, oh, Batman's killing people? Wow. Nah, that's already gone.
Stupid dream sequence, the nightmare.
Yeah.
Dark nightmare.
And it's funny because, like, they started out, like, his killing spree with that dream, so I'm like, okay, well, it's just a dream. I can forgive it. It's a little weird seeing Batman with a freaking gun, but that's fine. It's just a dream. It's just a dream. Snyder was just like, hey, this would be cool to see, so I'll put that in the movie for whatever reason. Yeah, so like, okay, fine, dream. I can just ignore that. And then he actually starts killing people, and he actually starts using guns, and it's just like...
Oh man, you know what it would have made?
Not like this movie.
You know what would have made that scene completely worth it? Okay, so here's what happens. Everything in that scene happens. Batman's shooting people. You're like, what's going on? All right, Batman is chained up. Superman comes in, takes off his mask. He's like, oh, he took her away from me. And like he's yelling at Batman, and he's gonna, he looks like he's going to laser him. And Batman goes, I'm just buying time. And Superman's like, for what? And then there's like all these bat symbols around like a crate, and it goes beep 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 and explodes, and out of it comes the Flash. And the Flash goes and he zooms, and Batman's like, warn him! And the Flash runs and he goes back in time, and then he talks to Bruce. And he's from this alternate future where like everything's turned to crap, and then the Flash goes back in time to warn Bruce Wayne in this movie. That I could buy. That I could deal with. That makes more sense.
Wait, would that be like an opening for the movie or something?
I mean, like, obviously the whole scene doesn't make sense. I'm just trying to justify that scene being in the movie.
With bat signal.
Well, I'm saying that, like, no, not the bat signal. Like, Batman's whole thing in this movie, he's shooting everybody so he can free Flash, so that Flash can go back in time and warn Batman in the past to, like, you know, to be wary of Superman and Darkseid and everything. Like, that actually makes more sense than the two visions in the dreams, I feel.
Well, at least it gives him a reason to have a gun,
right?
Basically,
it gives him a reason to have a gun.
So like Snyder can still have his stupid, scene, but at
it's
least
an
they're
alternate universe,
quote,
right?
Quote unquote, yeah.
It's so weird. It's detached from everything. But like the ending,
it is so weird.
The last thing, Superman's death. They jumped the shark. No big surprise.
Boy,
definitely jumped. That did not need to come now. This whole movie just.
Why is it happening now?
This whole movie didn't make any sense.
Why is it happening when we don't know Superman, where we haven't seen Superman be Superman, where none of the people that care about Superman except his girlfriend and his mom...
we saw Superman be Superman in Man of Steel.
Oh, God, he wasn't even Superman.
He was not Superman.
He was.
He still like this...
He was all serious and...
I'll tell you why. From Zack Snyder's own interview, I felt like we had to kill Superman in this movie in order for us to have been serious with the entire premise of the film.
Then have Batman kill Superman. That is... Oh, I'm not going to lie. This movie would come out at a... If all the stuff it has, all the problems it have, if Batman killed Superman at the end of that this movie would have come out with a solid 7. Maybe an 8. Because I would be like, alright, well, I had a lot of issues, but man, that took guts. Man, yes. I can't believe that they actually, like, how many times do you see this, hero versus hero, and they all turn out to be friends? If that whole thing was a misdirection, if Batman killed Superman at the end of it, I'd be like, that was all worth it. This movie had guts. This movie had vision.
It'd be like,
this movie...
I'd still be mad.
I'd be like,
at least
wow.
They had the guts to commit to that.
I'm like, wow, that's okay.
CGI rock monster to kill him instead.
And they didn't even really kill him.
Oh, that's the thing that gets me.
Tisses me.
That's the thing.
They wasted the entire plot of the death of Superman for a single scene that I guess Zach thought would look cool. Superman dead, people crying over him.
Also,
and then they're just like, okay, let's bring him back now.
2 funerals? Also, what's gonna happen when Superman does? He's gonna come back. Let's not pretend that Superman's dead forever. Superman comes back. What's gonna happen to Clark Kent? Clark Kent's dead. Clark Kent has a funeral.
Also... It just ticks me off that I've sat through 2 freaking Zack Snyder films now about Superman, and I have yet to see a single freaking scene where Superman is actually Superman.
Oh yeah, Zack Snyder does not get Superman.
It ticks me off.
He really doesn't
ticks me off.
Because like he continues to say on this interview that I'll link in the description, like one of the other reasons he killed him is because he wanted Bruce Wayne to be the one to build the Justice League. And I'm like, do you just not like Superman? Is that what I'm getting here?
The whole thing is like, well, if Superman talks to you, it's a whole different discussion. You mean like the discussion that is, hey, join the Justice League. Okay, cool. Let's have
Yeah.
the movie now. No, Zack
wants to
Snyder's
have
like,
Affleck and his
I need more
detective
dreams.
skills.
I need more convoluted plot stuff. I need them to be like, no, we're not going to join the Justice League because excuses.
Maybe that's
That's
what
why.
it is. Hold on. Maybe they are going to go somewhere with this. Maybe it's going to be an interesting journey because Batman's going to be the one trying to recruit people and nobody's going to want to join his Justice League.
That's
He's
what
a
I'm
murderer.
saying. Right. Like, oh yeah, aren't you the guy that murders a bunch of people? Aren't you
I'm
the
good, I'll
Punisher?
pass.
Right.
And then he's like, well,
Ugh.
I need Superman.
And then, I can't even talk about Lex Luthor.
he
haven't
sucks.
talked about
That's
how
the
disappointing.
End of the discussion.
He sucks. We're not gonna get into it. We're already running out of time.
That ending, that ending though. Does he serve Darkseid? I
There
guess.
was a deleted scene that recently got released. It was like 30 seconds. It was called Communion. And it supposedly was cut from like one of the last scenes. It was where Lex is gonna get arrested. And he's in the Kryptonian ship. And like the SWAT team walks in. And they see Lex sitting there talking to a hologram of one of Darkseid's minions from the comics. And people are speculating they like messed with his mind. But that scene was cut and they posted it on YouTube instead.
But why wouldn't you show something at the end to be like, but just even have an Omega symbol tattooed on the back of his head or something. Just
The
give me
implication is
something
that,
to work
he
with.
He literally did go crazy, and that's why he's crazy at the end. So rip Lex Luthor. He was a one and done villain that is now insane and locked in prison.
Lex Luthor is one of the greatest villains. And
I'm telling you,
he's
the movie
never
would have
done
been
right.
infinitely better
One
if
and
Doomsday-
done is just like
He's never done
such
right.
a good
I
synopsis.
had
of
hopes
Snyder.
for him. I like Jesse Eisenberg.
One and done.
Oh man,
I'm telling you,
who
as
cares about
stupid
any
and corny
potential?
as you may think it is, and it is, I would have liked the movie better if Doomsday had not been a thing, and it had just been Lex in his mech suit, like fighting Superman with
Yeah.
kryptonite. Like, at least that would have kept the
Yeah.
themes of the movie, like with kryptonite and stuff. And like,
Yeah, at least Superman wouldn't have
It was
died
dumb.
because Doomsday is already here.
It was a dumb movie.
Where are they gonna go? How are they gonna, people kill Superman again? How do they explain that he's back? Oh, the super sleep? You really want to go with that?
See,
Super
it's
sleep?
like they
Kryptonian
started
super
out
sleep?
the franchise with a movie that should have been wrapping up the franchise.
Right, exactly.
It's just so stupid. Oh well, we've talked at length about
And
this.
now that we've ended this TTV talks, you may think, how could I give this movie a 7.5? It's because I'm a casual that still had fun. It's like, that's what it boils down to.
Yeah, it's like. See the thing is a lot of the issues that I have with the movie, like that we pointed out, are
Right.
all things based off what we know about the characters already established.
Right.
Like the established concepts and themes of these characters that we brought in with us to the movie. A bunch of baggage that we brought to the movie. It's not necessarily a fault on the movie per se. It's not necessarily something that makes the movie bad because I don't think Batman should be killing someone.
Right.
But with that said, it does make the movie a bad adaptation. So
Yeah.
there's that. Like, I don't think it's a bad movie, terrible adaptation. But
Rip.
yeah. I think that basically wraps up this TTV Talks.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Extra long one. We got very heated.
Real quick, if you guys want to actually see the real Superman, pick up All-Star Superman. That's a great book. Pick up Superman Birthright and Superman Secret Identity. Both written by Kurt Busiek, who does Astro City. I don't know how you say his name, but that's a good Superman. Ongoing right now is Superman American Alien by Max Landis. That's a really great one. If you are like the people like Superman's really boring anyways.
Oh, you are such a Landis fanboy.
I'm a Landis fanboy through and through, man. But yeah, listen, Landis has great videos called Regarding Clark on YouTube, and he has a pitch for Death and Return to Superman that's also really good. If you want to see how Superman should be written right, you can just go to a YouTube video and see that. It's up to my knees on YouTube, so in case you're like kind of wondering what we're talking about, who's the best version of Superman, you can go look at that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's it.
All right.
boy.
Yeah, let's end. Thanks for watching this, everybody. I'm Var.
I'm Meso.
I'm Kahi.
I'm Venom.
And this has been TTV Talks.
cry every
Hopefully,
time.
there aren't any.
Justice League is gonna suck.
Hopefully, there aren't any fans out there that really love the movie and now are going to unsubscribe.
If you
to it.
like
Shame
this
on
movie,
you.
like if you gave this movie a 10 out of 10 or something like that, you should feel bad. I don't care. You should really feel bad.
No,
Yeah, you shouldn't-
no, you
shouldn't
shouldn't.
feel bad.
Curious to hear if anyone
I'm
has an
glad-
episode.
No, you deserve
I'm glad
to
you
feel
got your
bad.
money's worth.
And I'm glad that people all
I'm
over
glad-
the
I'm
internet
glad-
are crapping all over the movies to make you feel worse.
No, I'm glad that you got your money's worth and you were able to enjoy the movie. I wish I could have. I wish I could say the same.
Yeah.
So we'll end it on that. But goodbye.
Bye.
Goodbye.